Hello everyone, this is Karthik once again from Reseller Club. Uh, Today we have with us Jeff Sass, the Chief Marketing Officer of .club domains. And .club, I'm sure all of you know, has been one of the best performing new gTLDs ever since ICANN went out with the program in 2012. There are a few others which can claim slightly higher numbers, but nobody can claim to have the kind of marketing chutzpah and the actual use that .club domains have had. Uh, so we're very fortunate indeed to have Jeff over here because he's also a very proven marketeer. He has over 30 years of experience in the technology and entertainment industries. He's been a part of several startups, including the mobile commerce pioneer barpoint.com. He has a very varied experience across Entrepreneur Wiki, and he joined the .club team in March 2012. And he's been part of the effort right through the process of launch, acquisition of the club TLD itself. And he has also been a key part in getting leading representatives and celebrities to become a part of .club. Right? And Jeff is a frequent speaker and panelist on domain names, on mobile marketing, on music, on entrepreneurship, and social media. In case you guys are interested, you can always check him out on Twitter and Facebook. It's dizzying to see the amount he gets to travel, and he's a great speaker. I'm sure you all have a lot of fun in store today, and you're going to learn a lot of interesting things about .club domains and how it's going to make life a lot easier for your customers. So let's hear from Jeff on why .club domains are important for your customers and how you can get the most out of .club domains itself. Over to Jeff.
Well, thank you very much, Kartik. I really appreciate that very generous introduction. Clearly, my reputation exceeds me. But it's a pleasure to be here today and talk to you a little bit about .club and some of the things that we've done and learned since we launched a little over a year ago, and also to talk about the many ways we can help you be successful with .club domain names and your customers. So I'm happy to be here and share this information with you. To give you a little quick history of .club, the company was formed by Colin Campbell, who's our CEO and also a serial entrepreneur. Colin, as some of you may know, was one of the founders of Two Cows and also of the hosting company Hostopia. So he has a long history in the domain name business and in the hosting business. And it was Colin's idea really initially to go after the word .club when he heard about the opportunity to apply for new top-level domain names. Initially, we raised $1.6 million through private investors just for the purpose of applying for and operating .club. It's the only name we applied for. So unlike many other registries in this space who have applied for a number of new domain name extensions, we only applied for one, just .club. So we're an unusual, unlike Donuts who applied for 300, or Google applied for a little over 100, or Famous 4, and Uniregistry who all applied for portfolios of names. We only applied for .club. When we applied for .club, two other companies had also applied, Donuts and Merchant Law Group. And eventually we had an auction, and we were successful in winning the name in that auction. And we actually raised an additional $7 million just prior to the auction to make sure that we had sufficient funds to be successful in that auction. So why do we choose .club, and why did we choose to invest all of this time and effort and money in just one word, one simple word? Well, one of the things that's very exciting about the word club is that it truly is a global brand. The word club is spelled the same and means the same thing pretty much all over the world. As Kartik mentioned in the introduction, I travel quite a bit on behalf of .club for that reason. And everywhere we go, whether it's China or Japan or Germany or India, we see signs with the word club in English, even if it's another language before it. So you travel through China and you see many signs with Chinese characters followed by the word club, C-L-U-B in English. So it's a very unusual word in that it's widely recognized and understood across countries and languages. So we were very excited about that. It's also very short. It's only 4 characters. It's easy to remember. And most importantly, club has meaning. When you think of the word club, you immediately think of people coming together around a common interest or passion. And because of that meaning of community, it's a word that appeals to individuals as well as it appeals to businesses. So we see very broad appeal for the word club and very broad opportunities for the domain names ending in .club. We actually put together what we call our pyramid of passion, which breaks down sort of 5 segments where we see great opportunities for .club domain names. And I'll take a moment to walk through these 5 areas for you. So of course at the top of the pyramid is the obvious, existing clubs and associations. And there are millions and millions of existing clubs and associations throughout the world, all of whom can benefit from having a .club domain name. Why? Because they're a club. It's a great way to identify yourself as a club, to identify yourself as a community of people around a common interest or passion. And we've seen very successful take-up of .club names by existing clubs, everything from Rotary clubs to Kiwanis clubs to school clubs, and all types of existing clubs have been eagerly adopting their .club names. So when you look at your customer base, obviously to the extent that you have existing clubs and organizations already as customers, they would be very good targets to want to have a .club domain name. The second layer, which is also very exciting, is retail loyalty and affinity programs. Almost every consumer-facing brand today has some type of an affinity program. They have a rewards club or a points program, or they have other types of communities of their customers. And a .club name is a great way to brand that loyalty or affinity program. And you can use a .club name in addition to your regular web address and just point it to your specific loyalty or affinity program. So we see a lot of opportunity for .club for any consumer-facing business that has any type of reward or loyalty program, and they can use .club to point to that. The third layer is online groups. There are millions and millions of online groups. I think there are something like 600 million Facebook groups. And every one of these groups is a little club, right? They're a group of people gathered together around a common interest or passion. And a .club name is a great way to brand that online group, especially when you consider right now on the social networks, you're sending people to Facebook and their URL. You know, if you have a Facebook page, you're telling people, go visit me on Facebook, search for my company name on Facebook. That's hard. It's hard to put that in marketing. It's hard for people to find you. Instead, you could simply get a .club name and redirect it to your Facebook page. And we see many companies doing that. So they can say, visit us on Facebook, go to our company name .club, and have that address point directly to your community on Facebook or your online group. So there's a big opportunity to use a .club name, again, in addition to your primary web address, to point directly to your social pages. The fourth layer, which is perhaps one of the biggest, is sports and entertainment. There are tremendous opportunities for .club in the sports and entertainment field. Of course, you have all the sports teams, football clubs and cricket clubs, and you have hockey clubs and golf clubs and tennis clubs. Then you have country clubs. And of course, in the entertainment side, you have fan clubs. The .club name is a great name for any celebrity or sports figure that has a large following because it easily represents their fans and fan clubs. And we see a lot of take-up of .club in the sports and entertainment area. So that's a huge area for .club. And then the fifth layer is really passionate consumers. Anyone who has something they're passionate about can use a .club domain name to express that passion. And we've seen quite a few bloggers and other people who are trying to build communities around a particular interest or hobby using a .club name, whether it's Healthy Eating .club, which is a blog about food, to any different interests people might have, from bicycling to other pursuits. So we see a lot of passionate consumers using .club. So it's a name that appeals to a group of 2 or a group of 2 million. It really doesn't matter how big or small it is. If you're trying to express a passion and a community around that passion, .club is a great name. So that's our pyramid of passion, and it's really useful for you to think of these sections as you think about your customer base and who you could be marketing and presenting .club to. So we just celebrated our first birthday. We launched in general availability in May of 2014, May 7th to be exact. So we just celebrated our first year, and it's been quite an exciting year. And I wanted to run through a few of the statistics of some of the things we've accomplished over that first year in general availability. So we're just about at 250,000 registrations, so almost 250,000 registrations of .club names since we launched a year ago, which we're very excited about. And as I mentioned, we definitely have a global reach. We have over 112 registrars across the world who are actively promoting and selling .club names, which we're very excited about that registrar network, including you. .club domains are very active in over 128 different countries. Excuse me. So again, as I mentioned, very much a global brand, and that was really our goal, is to really build .club into a global brand. And we're happy to see that, you know, we're generally in the top 3 or top 5 in almost every country in the world. So we're doing very well, and in many markets we're the #1 new domain name extension. So very much a global footprint for .club. The other thing we're very excited about is the broad base of registrants. What we can tell outside of privacy is we have over 70,000 unique registrants. So quite a few people and businesses are getting on board with .club, and we think that's a very important number to show the breadth of registrations. It's not just concentrated in a few people's hands, but it's really spread over a diverse group of registrants all over the world. We have over 40,000 now. This statistic's a couple of weeks old. But we have over 40,000 live websites. These are not parked pages. These are active live websites. And we're very excited about that. As Kartik mentioned in the opening, usage is very important. I think in many respects, usage is much more important than total number of registrations, because it's through usage that the awareness gets out. When people see Virat Kohli and when they see local businesses using .club names, it reinforces the opportunity there is for them to get a .club name themselves. So we're very proud of our usage numbers. And also, of course, from a business perspective, from your perspective, people who are using a domain name for an active website are certainly going to be renewing that domain name. So for you and your customers, the fact that .club is a domain that gets used is very important, because that's where you're going to make your money. You're going to make your money through renewals. You're going to make your money through upselling additional services, and the people who are using domain names for active websites are the people who need those services and will be renewing their domain names. So usage is very important. Within that group, too, it's interesting, there are over 50,000 single domain registrants. So again, it's not just big portfolio players or domain investors. There are lots of individuals and businesses who get their one .club name that they need, and they're using it. So we're very excited about that distribution as well. We've also enjoyed some great success on the premium name front, and I think premium names are an important part of the ecosystem for domain names. Of course, they're an important part of our revenue as the registry, but they're also a great way to get high-profile usage of the brand and really build .club into a brand. And since we launched a year ago, we've done over $1 million in premium name sales, including some very high-profile sales, such as the auction of Wine.club in January for $140,000 US, and I believe that is so far the highest price that's been reported for one of the new domain name extensions. We've had several other sales in the $100,000 range. Coffee.club and Vegas.club were both $100,000 names, and we've had many names sold in the $20,000 range, and on and on and on. So we've had a good start on the premium name front, and these are all high-profile names and high-profile sites that help promote the .club brand. So we're very proud of our activities in the premium name space. Kartik mentioned celebrities. You know, when we launched .club a year ago, we really wanted to do something that was going to drive consumer awareness and get some attention. And so we thought, because of the fan club connection, celebrities were a great way to raise awareness for .club. And when we launched a year ago, we did a deal with 50 Cent to be our launch partner. And of course, the reason why we wanted to work with 50 Cent was not only is he well known as a musician and an entrepreneur, but when you think of 50 Cent, what do most people think of? They think of his most famous song, In the Club. So there was a nice direct connection to the word club that we liked. And 50 Cent launched his fan site, 50inda.club. He was present at our launch party in New York last May. And more importantly, when we structured the deal with him, we made sure that we could obtain the rights for our registrar partners and our resellers like yourselves to be able to use his name and likeness in marketing materials for .club. So we were able to provide all of our registrar partners with banners and other assets featuring 50 Cent that they could use to help promote .club. And we think that's very important to give you the opportunity to leverage these celebrities to help you market .club. Shortly after we launched 50 Cent, Demi Lovato launched Lovato.club, and that was done organically. We had nothing to do with that, never talked to her people. She just launched Lovato.club on her own as her new fan site. She put together a really great video on YouTube promoting Lovato.club. That video has over 500,000 views on YouTube. And again, just another example of how .club works very well for celebrities and sports figures and fan sites. So on the sports front, in India in particular, based on the success of Lovato.club and 50 into .club with 50 Cent, we look to expand into getting sports figures on board and also getting celebrities in other markets on board. And India being a very important market for .club, we looked into who would be a great partner in India, and we were very fortunate to be able to work with Virat Kohli, one of the top cricket players in India. And Virat, who has a huge following in social media, over 20 million likes on Facebook, I think close to 5 million Twitter followers. He never actually had a real website before. He never had an official website. And in November, he launched his first ever official website at viratkohli.club. So really great to have him on board. And again, just like we did with 50 Cent, we were able to get permission for our partners to be able to use Virat's likeness in promotion for .club. So we've provided assets to our registrar partners, and there are assets available for you to use if you're interested to help use Virat Kohli to help promote .club to your customers. In the U.S., we've had a lot of interest from basketball players recently. Tyler Johnson is one of the up-and-coming stars of the Miami Heat. He launched a .club site, and we'll be announcing a number of other sports figures in the coming weeks. So we're very excited about the opportunity for celebrities and sports figures to use a .club name for a great fan site. It's a natural fit. And of course, as I mentioned before, thousands of golf clubs, country clubs, tennis clubs, Rotary clubs, Kiwanis clubs, school clubs, and on and on and on have adopted their .club name. Another area that we're very excited about is entrepreneurs and startups who are using .club. One of the first sites to go live when we launched a year ago was shaving.club, which is an online subscription service for high-quality shaving products. And any business that has a membership or a subscription model is ideal for a .club name. And these subscription models are very popular now. And so we felt that startups was an important area for us to go after. With that in mind, we created something called startup.club. And at startup.club, we took about 450 high-profile premium names, and we developed logos for each of those names. You can see some examples of those logos here. And the logos are really to spark ideas and spark creative thinking. But if someone does buy one of these names, they're welcome to take our logo and use it, but they certainly don't have to. It's really there to spark creativity and spark ideas. But at Startup Club, we feature all these names, we feature their logos, and we invite you to submit a business idea for one of these domain names. And if you have a really good business idea that we like, then we're going to give you very favorable payment terms. So for example, if you take a domain name that's a Startup Club, and I'll use Coffee Club as the example because that was one of the first to do it. Coffee Club was a $100,000 name, but because they presented a business idea that we liked, which was a subscription service for fresh roasted organic coffee, we were agreeable to have them pay for that domain name in 10 equal payments over 10 years, interest-free. And in addition, for all of the companies that we accept into the Startup Club program, we will also provide additional PR and promotional support from .club. So we have money set aside to help promote and advertise the sites who are part of our Startup Club program. And in the case of Coffee.club, we even help them with some of the development and launch of their website. So we got intimately involved with Coffee.club. helped them launch. As I mentioned before, they paid $100,000 for the site, which they're paying, for the name, excuse me, which they're paying $10,000 a year over 10 years. So the Startup Club program is great. It's been very successful. What's interesting, too, about .club is it seems to perform very well in search because it fits naturally as an exact match search term. So coffee.club launched, and very shortly after their launch, if you go to Google and search for coffee space club, coffee.club is one of the top results, and actually it's currently the #1 organic result for a search for coffee space club. And we see that happen again and again with other .club names. Credit.club is also a name that launched a site, a great site, and it also appears in the first position on Google search results. About a month ago, just around Mother's Day, Soap.club launched. This was another site that was part of our Startup Club program. Soap.club launched, and literally within 3 weeks, it's the #1 search result. If you search for Soap Space Club, you'll see Soap.club right there at the top. So in addition to having meaning and being short and memorable, in many cases I think there could be some nice advantages in search for .club names as well, because it's meaningful and it fits in the right position. You know, Soap.club, Soap Club is natural. That's the way we think, that's the way we speak, so it works very well. I want to take a moment to talk about, you know, ways that you can use not just .club, but all of the new domain name extensions. You know, a lot of people are trying to pit us in a fierce battle against .com. But the truth is, it's not necessarily a battle between .com and .club or any other TLD. There are a lot of ways that the new domain extensions can be used in addition to your primary website. I mean, if you have a good .com name for your business already, or a good .in name, or whatever it might be, you may not be interested in changing to one of the new domain name extensions. However, there are still many ways you can use new domain extensions in addition to your primary website. One of those ways is for deep links. Because these new domain extensions have meaning, there's no reason why a company wouldn't have their .com in the middle, but they could also use a .app pointing to their mobile apps. They could have a .news that points to their press releases and news stories. They could have a .shop that points to their online store. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, they could and should have a .club that points to their loyalty or reward program. So there are ways to use new domain extensions like .club in addition to an existing URL or an existing web address that help you brand different parts of your business and make it easier for people to find different parts of your business. In many ways, it's a lot like a QR code, but in some respects, it's better. You know, if you see a QR code, there's no indication of what it's going to lead to. It's just a bunch of dots. If you see brand name .app, it gives you a good idea that when you click on that link, you're going to end up on the mobile app page for that brand. So the URL, the domain name, gives more of an indication of what to expect for that deep link. So I think that's a big opportunity. Think of it as shortcuts. You know, a domain name now that has meaning, like a .club domain name, can be used as a shortcut to different aspects of your business. And just to give one quick example, you know, Safeway is a supermarket chain in the U.S. This is the URL on their website for information about their loyalty program, their club card program. You know, that's a really long, unwieldy URL that you're not going to be able to put in any marketing materials. You're not going to be able to tell people that name and have them remember it. Instead, a company like Safeway could simply register Safeway.club and have it point to that same link. So they don't have to build a new website. They don't have to change anything, but they now have something that's much more brandable and easier to use. And that's the same for social links, as I mentioned earlier. We see many companies like Ashley Bridget. AshleyBridget.com points to their website. AshleyBridget.club points directly to their Facebook page. And then in their marketing materials, they can say very simply, come visit us on Facebook. Go to AshleyBridget.club. And it's much easier. Not only is it easier for people to remember and for people to then find them without having to search on Facebook, but let's say a few years from now they decide, you know what, we want to move our community somewhere else besides Facebook. They already own that brand. They own that URL. They can move that community very easily. They haven't handed over the keys to their kingdom to Facebook. So that's another big opportunity for people to use .club. And of course, one of the other big opportunities there is now for you and your customers is to get involved with category killers, with premium names, as we talked about. You know, the introduction of all these new domain name extensions has created new opportunities to get a category killer name. Barnes & Noble owns book.com, not Amazon, right? They got it first. But now Amazon, if they wanted to, they could get book.club. So there are literally, you know, thousands of great keywords available as premium names that your customers could get to really show their leadership in a particular industry. So the introduction of new domain extensions like .club has opened up a new opportunity to get category killer premium names. And these premium names, while they are at a premium price, they're considerably less expensive than the equivalent .com name would be. So there's a real opportunity, even for a small business that wants to make a mark, one of your customers perhaps, to get a great premium category killer keyword name to really take over a particular category. So that's another opportunity with the new domain name extensions. So really it's not .com versus .TLD, as I mentioned. I think there are three types of people when it comes to domain names. There are the haves, people who already have a great .com or a great .in name, and they're not likely to change. They got in early, they got the perfect domain name that fits their business, they like it, they're happy with it, so they're not going to change. So when you're talking to customers who are in the haves, you might be talking to them more about how can they use a .club name in addition to their current website, given some of the examples I already showed you. So it's not about getting them to switch necessarily, it's about getting them to use a .club name or another new domain name extension in addition to their current website. So those are the haves. They're probably not going to switch, but there are opportunities for them to use a domain name in addition to. Then you have the have-nots. There are people who didn't really get the best .com domain name or the best .in domain name. Maybe they had to settle for a second or third choice. Maybe they had to have 3 or 4 or 5 words in their domain name, or maybe they had to use hyphens or underscores, or maybe they had to abbreviate, or maybe they got an extension that they didn't particularly care for. So those people, the have-nots, might be willing to switch to a .club or to a new domain extension if it's actually more meaningful and a better name than the one they have. So if you have customers who have long names or names with hyphens or names with underscores, you know, and they are clubs or they are communities, you know, they may be willing to switch to a new .club name because it might be a better name, an easier name for people to remember than their current web address. So the have-nots are potentially a good target for you as well, and they might actually switch over to one of the new domain extensions. And then, of course, the third group, which is the most exciting group, is really the haven't started yet, the people who haven't started yet. You know, there are millions, if not billions, of people coming to the internet now over the next few years for the first time. These are people who are new to the internet. They've never had a website before. These are prime customers for you because not only do they need a web address, but they need hosting packages, they need email services, they need everything because they're new to the internet. So the people coming to the internet for the first time, those who haven't started yet, those are tremendous opportunities for .club and for all of the new domain name extensions, and they're great opportunities for you. And included in that group are entrepreneurs and business people who have ideas, who are starting new businesses. You know, anyone with a new idea, what happens typically? You have an idea, and the first thing you want to do is find a great name for that idea. And then when you have a great name idea in your head, you go and see, can I get the domain name? Can I get a great domain name to match that great name for my idea? And when they have the idea and a great domain name, next they need hosting, next they need email, next they need all the services that you provide. So the entrepreneurs and the startups and the creative people who are coming up with these ideas are really great opportunities for .club and for you. In addition to campaigns, you know, advertising agencies and brands that are doing campaigns are starting to use .club and other new domain name extensions for those advertising campaigns. So they can have a campaign-based domain name. So there's a lot of opportunities for the people who haven't started yet, who are having new ideas and new campaigns to use .club and other domain extensions. So we'll talk a little bit about ResellerClub and the things we've been doing with them that, of course, transfer to you as well. Obviously, we're very eager to work closely with you and with ResellerClub on promotions periodically, and we've done various promotions from time to time, discounting first-year registrations, even as low as $3.99 in some cases. And by the way, if I say reseller.club, I apologize, but it comes natural. Every time I think of Reseller Club. I want to say reseller.club. So that's how I think about it because of club. Obviously, social media is a great way to inform your customers and to generate awareness. And in social media, it's very easy to target different type of people. So you can target existing clubs. You can target passions. If people are into cricket, you can target cricket players. You can target cricket clubs. There's a lot of ways to use social media to get in front of the likely customers for a .club name, and we're happy to help with that. As I mentioned earlier, we'll provide digital assets. We can do stuff with Virat Kohli if you're interested. So there's lots of things that we're willing to do through Reseller Club to help you promote .club to your customers. And if you have something specific, feel free to reach out to us directly. We're happy to work not just with the Reseller Club, but to help individual resellers as well, any way that we can. We've done various promotional campaigns. We've given away prizes, such as a signed cricket bat by Virat. We attend a lot of events, Hosting Con, the new gTLD Summit. So we're doing our part to try to raise awareness and create demand to help you sell your .club names as well. Here are some examples of some banners that have been used along with Reseller Club. And again, if there's something custom that you want, we have a team of artists and designers. We're happy to help you by providing those resources. So if you have a specific request, you can just let us know or let Reseller Club know, and we're more than happy to help create that specific asset for you, so you don't have to do it yourselves. These are just some more examples of some of the campaigns we've run in the past in India with Virat. So we have an email address. If you have any questions or need help directly from us, obviously you can go through Reseller Club, but you can also just email us at reseller@get.club. As I just mentioned, we're happy to help you create custom marketing materials and provide digital assets for you. We're even happy to take a look at your website and make suggestions, things you can do on your website to help promote and sell more .club names, and really any kind of data about stuff that we've learned, some of the examples I've given you here. We have a lot of assets on our website. If you visit get.club, we have a page of downloadable assets, logos, taglines, banners, things like that. We have videos that we've produced, all sorts of assets. And if you don't see what you need, just let us know, and we're more than happy to try and create that for you if it doesn't already exist. Our goal is really to help you be successful. And you know your customer base better than we do. And some of you I know specialize in certain types of customers, certain markets, whether it might be small businesses or someone else might focus on schools and universities. Whatever is your target, you know that customer base well. And if we can help you create a custom marketing program that will help you convert better with that audience, with your audience, we're happy to do that. So, we can provide prizes for a social media contest, anything we can do to help. We're in India frequently. If you want us to have someone come with you to a client presentation, if the timing works out, we're happy to do that as well. We're really here to help you be successful, because when you're successful, we're successful along with you. So it's very important for us to be available to help you. So please do stay in touch with Reseller Club. Take advantage of any promotional efforts that they're offering. We can all grow together. As I talked about earlier when we were talking about the pyramid, there are a lot of keywords that you can use to look within your customer base for people that would be likely targets for .club, whether they're existing clubs, and existing clubs might have the word club in their current domain name, or they might have the word club or organization in their business name. So don't just think of what domain names they have. Look through your database of customers to see what actual businesses could be clubs or could want a .club name. So take advantage of that. We can supply you with a detailed list of keywords and categories that we feel are strong with .club. If that's helpful, just let us know, or let Reseller Club know. Email obviously is a good tactic to reach out to your customers, and anything we can do to help, we're more than happy to do so. So I want to end by showing just a few examples of live sites in India in the different categories. And one of the nice things that we've seen with our live sites and registrations is they really cover all of the categories I mentioned in our pyramid of passion. We're really not seeing any one particular area stand out for .club, but we're seeing lots of registrations across all the areas that we think there should be registrations, from existing clubs and associations and on and on and on. So this is a kennel club, Central Kennel.club in India. Here's a kite club. So these are existing clubs. On the loyalty and affinity program side, this is a dry cleaner that's using DWD.club. There's a great video on this site about their dry cleaning services and why they're really creating more of a club around their dry cleaning services. Here's a car care site as well. SSL Champions, someone in the domain name space. These guys are using a .club name as well. Online groups, I mentioned before, lots of social groups, lots of people pointing their .club names to their Facebook and other social pages. In sports and entertainment, a lot of celebrity fan sites. Again, .club is a great name for any celebrity or sports figure or a sport themselves. Here's a site for TLD.club. Many fitness clubs and spas are using .club names. And again, passionate consumers, bloggers, iFoodie.club. A lot of foodies love .club. Health, obviously a lot of health clubs and health fitness. So there's a lot of examples of live sites all over the world. Again, at our website, we have many examples there. We feature hundreds of live sites on our website and in our blog. We have videos available that show examples of the sites. And again, anything that you don't find that would be helpful to you, just let us know, and we're more than happy to provide that. So that concludes my formal presentation, and then, of course, I'm very happy to entertain any questions that anyone may have. And I thank you again for taking the time to listen to this webinar and to learn more about .club. And we're here to help you be successful. So please take advantage of that. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. I'm sure there was a lot of very useful information and inputs that our resellers could take away from that. In fact, we had a question right at the start of the webinar, but that was something you eventually covered. So the first question that came in was, can we use images and material of the Maki users that you've been talking about, and is there any IP violations that I need to be wary of? But I think you covered it for, say, a 50 Cent and a Virat Kohli. But are there any others apart from these two with whom you already have standing deals?
Those are the two, great question. Those are the two that we have made arrangements for assets to be available right now. But as I mentioned, there's quite a few things in the works with other celebrities and sports figures all over the world, and as more assets become available, we will certainly add that to the information on our website. So, it depends. Not every celebrity that uses a .club name is going to want us to be using them for promotional purposes. They just use the name themselves, like Demi Lovato did. But in other cases, we're able to partner with them in a way where we can actually leverage them as well, because it's mutually beneficial. So we will, we'll always let you know if there are ones that are okay to use. And obviously, just as an example of an existing website, there's nothing wrong with pointing to Lovato.club or any other celebrity site that is an actual live site and saying, here's an example of a .club site.
Yeah, that makes sense. So one of the other questions was, .club recently finished a year since its launch. So given the fact that it has a higher number of active websites, how have the renewal rates been so far? Are you seeing them to be higher than most other new gTLDs?
So I don't, there's not a lot of data yet on what all of the other new TLDs are doing in terms of renewals. Donuts was kind of the first company to start experience renewals, and they've blogged about it. We're still in the midst of the kind of the first grace period and stuff, so we don't have a clear indication yet. But we believe that renewals will be probably around 70 to 75% overall when all is said and done, and we're in the early stages of that. But as you pointed out, because we have quite a few live active sites, we expect renewals to be pretty good. Also, our renewal cost is not very expensive. One of the things that we did with .club is we priced it very similarly to .com, whereas many of the other new domain extensions could be, $30, $40, $50, $60 a year. We kept the pricing for .club more reasonable because we wanted to be accessible to small clubs and large clubs and schools, etc. So typically our annual registration fees and our renewal fees are in the $10 to $15 a year range, depending on the registrar. And of course, that's true even for premium names. So unlike many of the other new domain extensions, if you buy a .club premium name, and let's say that premium name has an upfront fee of $5,000 or whatever, that's only the first year fee. After that, renewals are at the normal general availability price. So even a domain name like wine.club, where they paid $140,000 up front, when they renew that name next year, the renewals will be 10 or 15 bucks. So we kept our renewal costs low, and we think that will have a positive impact on the renewal rate.
Okay, that's great indeed, because there are quite a few other registries who do this, where premium domain stays premium throughout its lifetime.
Correct. So you might think you're getting a name that's $1,000, but it's actually $1,000 a year forever.
Yeah. So the final question that we had was, are there any examples of loyalty programs starting to use .clubs and for marquee brands? So say something like say frequent flyer programs of popular airlines or say hotels. Do we know of any such examples?
Yeah, to right now, but I will say that, yeah, I don't have a specific example I can point to right this second, but I will say that we just got back a few weeks ago from the Loyalty Expo, which is a conference just for brands and their loyalty programs, and we had a terrific reaction to .club and are having discussions now with a number of those companies. So the idea of using a .club name to point to the loyalty program has been very well received, and I think you will be seeing examples of that very shortly.
Okay, that's great news. So I'm sure you're going to share any further updates that you have, and we'll make sure to share any case studies that we can probably build out of marquee brands so that they have more marketing material to go to their customers with.
Terrific. Yeah, and as I said many times during the presentation, anything that we can do to help, obviously feel free to reach out to whoever you deal with at ResellerClub, but you're also welcome to reach out to us directly at any time. My information is on the screen right now. As I mentioned before, you can also email reseller@get.club, and we're more than happy to work directly with you and ResellerClub together to ensure your success.
That's great. So, yeah, that's about all the questions that we have from the attendees. We will be sharing the webinar on our social media platforms also, and you guys can get back to us at any point in time with any follow-on questions. If you have, obviously, Jeff has shared his email ID and his Twitter profiles. You can also feel free to message us on Facebook or Twitter, or even write into us on the webinar email itself as a reply, and love to get back to you. We want everyone in the world to get on the club. So thanks again, guys, and thanks a lot, Jeff, for taking out time and outside of all your travel and your busy schedule.
It's my pleasure, and thanks again for all the great support we get from ResellerClub. We're really very, very happy to be an important partner of yours, and you're an important partner of ours.
Right then, have a good day, everyone. Thanks. Goodbye.